Hey guys, I'm Dally, and this is Let's Play Farming Simulator 17. So in the last episode we left off, we had just finished harvesting the fields and we were working through basically getting them reseeded and ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and take the pickup so I can restart the cultivator that's over here. If you look in the bottom right, I did install a new mod. It's beta right now. But it's a fuel gauge, and basically it increases the realism on the fuel. Right, so as you'll see when I hop in here, right, I turn it on and it's using gas. And then I start driving and it's using more gas. And so basically gas is more related to how hard the tractor or vehicle is working. And so it also, provides the information as to what you're using. But I think it's going to be very valuable. It does change the fuel consumption of vehicles. So it makes it more realistic. So a vehicle idling is not going to consume as much fuel as a vehicle doing work. And then a vehicle, like a smaller tractor that's really struggling to do a task, is going to consume substantially more fuel than it normally would. So that's the idea behind that mod that I've added. I like it. It is beta on the Farming Simulator mod site. The official, the ones that you can get in-game. Right, you can see here, I've got the small tractor pulling a rather large tipper, and it's using a lot of gas to get up to speed. Right, but see, now there's nothing in it, so now we are not using as much fuel as we were before. Right, we get up to speed and it slows down, right? We're not pushing it as hard as we had to. Okay, so let's see, I'm going to fertilize these fields we just processed, or we just harvested. And then I will probably grab the seeder and start planting on those other fields behind us. Yep. So we'll do this. I'm using a worker here just because I want to look at wood chipping. Right, we want to try to clean up a lot of the basically trees that are getting in our way. Right, so we have the field that we just purchased has trees on one end that sometimes we run into, and we want to avoid that. So, right, I mean, a chainsaw is not very expensive, right? So that's going to be 1,000? Yeah, 1,000, and we can pick whichever one we want. Did I just buy it? Oh, I totally just bought that. Okay, so I bought a chainsaw. Oops. But I want to look at, first off, this machine to cut the stumps. So that's cheap, right? We can do 5,000. And then we want to look at wood chips. Okay, so I think this is the cheapest wood chip. And since we're going to be doing everything by hand, right, we're not going to be using great big machines to do any of this, we could go with a cheap machine like this to do the wood chips. The only thing we'll need is make sure we get the tipper there. Ideally, I'd like to go with the bigger one, but again, right, we're short on funds at this point. And this is just going to be an easy way for us to make a little bit of extra cash without doing more contracts, right? I want to avoid doing contracts. So I think I'm going to buy the tree stump here. We already bought the chainsaw, and then I think I will buy this wood chipper. Okay, since we're doing everything by hand, we won't need a huge wood chipper, but this will also allow us to chop down those really tall trees that these machines can't grab. Right, those trees I'm talking about are these guys right in front of us. The tools, the basically the scorpion guys can't do. And then these guys as well have the same problem, right? Because they're very branchy trees, and so it's going to be not optimal for those machines. And I actually don't think they can pick them up. So that actually worked out perfectly for this. Fertilizer barely squeezed in there. Yep, so once we get all of our fields basically ready to go, we will, no, you are done, go get that equipment. I was looking at more mods for like other tractors and stuff, and I saw a few that I liked, but the prices were too low on a lot of the vehicles. One of my favorite mods from Farming Simulator 15 was called the Old Field, and it was a map, and it came with all these tractors and implements and everything that were literally old machinery, and the idea was that you were starting with technology from like the 1950s, and you'd have to build up from there, and you had these really small fields, and it like your starting farm was not conducive to really large tractors and combines and implements, and everything was done with these really small things. So you had like a 20 horsepower tractor, you had like a 1 meter working with plow, cultivator, seeder, right? Really tiny machines that they had back when they first started mechanizing farming, that I think added a whole lot of interesting technology to the game, right? It gave you a really believable starting point that I liked, and there were a couple tractors that looked like that, but they were priced like they were cheap little tractors, but their performance numbers were, I don't know why you started that far back, but their performance numbers were way too high for what that cost was going to be. It didn't make any sense whatsoever for the price of that tractor to be what the performance numbers had. And while, yes, it looked like a very old tractor and everything, the performance numbers in this game are very straightforward. And I didn't want to go with that process, right? I think it'd be better off sticking with more of the vanilla or more, vanilla-esque mods that, don't provide while that level of interest that I really like, that is believable. The performance numbers were too good, and so basically these would end up being overpowered tractors, combines, implements that I'm not going to use yet. I might look into adjusting the performance numbers on them to see just how well we can get it to really reflect something that I believe is more realistic. Right, kind of like the modifications we did on the bigger pallets mod. Right, we removed basically the discount that the bigger pallets gave us. While there would realistically probably be a discount because, right, bigger pallets would inevitably have a bigger discount. Right, they would be 5% less or whatever it might be. Not the 25% less those provided, but we made a change to that mod to basically make the prices match exactly what the in-game prices are. Right, because even, you're not condensing, right? So we're taking the one cheat is basically making all those, what would be 10 pallets into a single pallet. We're paying the same amount for them. They're heavy, hard to control, but we still get a significant benefit in that we do not have to, manage 10 pallets. We only have to manage one. So let's see, what do we want? What can we plant here? So we can do... Okay, so I am going to do... we'll do wheat in this field. No. Let's do canola. We'll do canola on these fields. And then we'll do soybean on the other 2 fields. And then we'll start planting 4 different types of seeds in all of our fields. So these guys are going to run for a little bit. So while they are running, I don't really have a way I can go pick up any of that other equipment. So we'll probably go do a contract. I know we don't want to spend our time doing contracts, but we got to fill the time doing something, right? I don't have any tractors, so I can't go work on the sheep. Let's see, what is the cheapest tractor that we can buy? Right, that 45,000 is still substantial. The tractors we have are this one? No. All right, what tractors do we have? The Zetter 120. Okay. So we actually have this one and this one. So we have these 2 tractors. Interesting that we got those 2. I mean, so we could go with this really, really weak guy. I think he would be good enough for what we need him to do. Let's see, where is the loader? All right, we're leasing the loader. That's right. Let's see. Can I see owned items, leased items? Here we go. Interesting. I like how it gives us a lot of this information. But so we've done 2 hours of work on this, which is not very much. That's good. I mean, that's how we want it to be. I don't know what this means, where it's 1 to 2 hours. Is that like 1 hour, 2 minutes? I don't know. Excuse me. So we'll have to think through that. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is, maybe it's 4/10 of an hour. I don't really know how to read that. But yeah. I don't think we're going to do that. So we'll go do a contract while those machines are working. We will have to refill the seeder, most likely. So actually, it probably would have been better if I did soybean on those fields and canola on these, so I didn't have to travel as far to refill the seeder. But we are going to do it that way. We're stuck on right now. So a lot of this is ready for harvest. I don't really want to harvest. I just want to do something that's going to be relatively quick. We might harvest that little field. But we are absolutely not going to do a harvest like on this field to our right. Right, because that's going to take a rather exceptionally long time. Okay, let's do, let's see. We'll do 26. Yeah, we'll just go to 26. Yep, so we'll do this. And yep, I'm going to be doing all of these by hand now because CoursePlay has been a little finicky. Especially with the contract work. I don't think it's really a problem with the non-contract work, but it is. Let's see, okay, yep. Yeah. But it has not been the best doing contract work, like I said, I don't think it finished or ended whatever process was actually driving the worker, so it was just continuously charging us for the workers we were hiring. Hopefully the CoursePlay team comes up with an official version, right, because the version we're using now is not released by the official team. It's basically just a port from the 2015 code to function with 2017. And I think the team that worked on the 2015 version will eventually come out with a version that is more powerful and reliable than this port is. So, yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and speed through this so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me go back and forth on the field here. Yep. So I'll catch up with you when I'm done. Alright, so we finished up here. Right, it's not a great payout, but, and as you can see, it doesn't let us do it again. Where did I put this? So let's see on the map where our machines are. That one that's cultivating looks like he's getting pretty close. So we'll drive over there and see how he's doing. It'd be nice to have this really big field here. Alright, so he looks like he's almost done. Let's see how your seed is coming along. 68%. It's going to be really close on whether or not it's going to finish this field without needing to be refilled. So that might be the next thing we buy, is a new seeder. So let's see. Do you have one or two? I bet you finished down here. Let me see. Yep, yeah, you'll have to come back. So I will wait for you over here. And we will catch back up with you guys when he has finished cultivating here. Oh. Looks like he had to make one more trip. Alright. That is okay. Whoa. So we'll go ahead and move him here to cultivate. And we'll do more, I guess, contracts. You know what? I just came up with an idea. Instead of doing contracts, I'm going to go grab the tipper and we'll start cutting down trees. Right, and we'll start with the ones right around here. Right, they're in our way. I mean, they look good and all, but they are definitely in the way. Oh man, this one is gonna really struggle. Alright. So, let's go ahead and cut this. Wait, I can't cut these trees down? Oh, there it is. Okay, I was just... There we go. There it goes. Alright, so here's the reason why. Let's see, let's move this right next to us so we don't have to really worry too much about walking around with it. So, let's see. See how it's like weird and I have to cut this branch off? That is why the machine. Let's see, can I pick this up? I can. All right. So this one's not too heavy. So we'll go ahead and... No, come on. Yeah. Okay, so you are too heavy. All right, we'll go ahead and just chop stuff up for now. Let's see. We'll just make a nice pile, so when we get the wood chipper, we can just feed stuff into it. Yep. All right. Oh, you're too heavy. All right. So let's cut this. I'm gonna put this up here. See how the cedar's doing over there. All right, now. Hurry up. Oop. We'll just make our pile right here. I guess I'll go put the tipper away real quick, since we will not actually be using it yet. I also saw a mod that was interesting that would help us steer these trailers, the double jointed ones. But I don't know if we'll go that far with it yet. Oh, got this piece. Yep. Nope. No, no. In the pile. In the pile.
User disconnected
There we go.
from your channel.
Now you're in a pile. Okay, let's see. Is this? Nope. This looks like a branch.
What you doing?
So let's go ahead and cut this. Yep, he left. That's good. Here, let's go ahead and get all the branches off. And then we can get the leaves trimmed off. Let's see, this one. Alright, this is a dangerous cut, gentlemen, because I think the tree's going to lose most of its support. Yep. So I'll do this one. Okay, so that makes you a branch. There we go. Alright, so I think that's most of the branches. Alright, so can I pick this up? Yes, I can. Put them in the pile right here. Let's see, how is this? Okay, he's still going. Okay, these are too heavy. But that's too heavy. Okay. There we go. Where do you attach? So right here? Alright, let's see, I bet I can pick you up, yep. Oop. Yeah, they're kinda, yeah, if you rotate too fast, you kinda throw it instead. So, Just gotta take it slow. Alright, let's take you, throw you in the pile. There we go, the leaves are finally gone. Oh, the tree on top of you, I don't think I'm gonna be able to... There we go. Squeeze you out there. Okay, come on, out from under the other tree here, come on. There we go. Into our pile. There we go. And you're too big. Yep. Yep, yeah, you're the one with the trees on. Okay, squeezed you out. Okay, and then that leaves us with this big guy here. Trees. Okay. So the question is, over here, what size do you think I could pick up? I'm gonna go with this. Nope, that piece is too heavy. Alright, so let's see if I can cut it even more here. Let's see if I go from this direction. So we might need to do... We might also need to get something that can pick this up. But if we go from the other end, oh, helper F finished, so let's go grab him. Oh, because once we get rid of a lot of these trees, it'll remove some of the stuff that's in the way, right? We can harvest more, or I guess mow, oh shit, mow more, sorry, didn't mean to curse like that. Yeah, we could mow more, right, because those trees wouldn't be in the way. And it barely finished. So let's go back, refill the cedar here. Yeah, if it wasn't for the trees, I mean, this would be a really nice, like, pasture area for us to mow. That same for the area in front of us. So we'll do this to basically all the trees that we can find here, just to sort of open up the area around the farms. We'll keep most of the trees, and if we get into really intense forestry, actually manage the forests that way, but... Alright, It's this one over here. Where did my pickup go? Alright, where's the pickup? It fell way behind. Which is fine. I guess we're coming back there anyway. We're doing a pretty. Oh, it looks like I got stuck on a tree. Yep, he got stuck on the tree. Alright, so we'll start at the far end here. Do canola again, so we'll have both these fields be canola. Okay. We will go back to cutting down the trees. I'm going to fast forward through chopping down the next ones while we wait for these guys to finish, because you guys don't need to basically watch me meticulously try to chop down a tree so I can throw it by hand into a wood chipper. Yeah. So, yeah, I will catch up to you probably when this cultivator's done. Actually, no, even then, because I'm just going to move him to the other field. So I will... Let's see if we can do something interesting. Hold on, let me think through this for a second. We could do some of these. You know what? I'm actually just going to tack this episode on to the end of the last one, I think. No, I'm not going to do that either. Choices. You know what? How are we on money? How do I get to the... Let's see, category brands. Let's see, here. Yep. So, I mean, I could borrow more money. Thinking this through. Look at all this field job income. So much field. Yep. I'm just gonna chop these down. And accelerate through it. And when we finally go to do the wood chips is when I will come back. Alright. Alright guys, after starting to cut this video, I realize it's running a little bit too long to add the wood chip portion of it, so we'll do that in the next episode. This has been Dally. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or comment. You guys have fun.